discussion only as it relates to a recurring agenda item under consideration. Using the microphone, which is right in the right side in the front of the forum, let's call it. Persons using the microphone must first state their first and last name and their lot numbers. I will then call for the vote. The vote will be taken by a show of hands. Please keep your hands up until the clerk can determine the show of hands. If the clerk cannot determine the vote, we will go to reading ballot. When the meeting is closed, I will open up the floor to additional questions. All questions will be made by using the microphone in the center of the floor. In order to be fair and provide an opportunity for the most people present to access the microphone, the speaker will be limited to either one statement or one question, with an option for one follow-up question. If the same speaker wishes another turn at the microphone, they must go to the end of the line. Okay, we are right now 10 and 3 minutes in the morning. I make the first call. As we can see, there's not yet a quorum, so we will wait for 2 minutes for the second call.
Can you give the amount of votes that the developer has at this point, or do you not know?
I don't know now this time. While we are waiting, I would like to introduce Mr. Juan Ignacio Reyes-Retana, who is our attorney, and I will read a brief description of his resume. Juan Ignacio is a partner at Reyes-Retana, Castro and Rodriguez Abogados. He has been representing individuals and legal entities in public domestic and international litigation arbitration for the past 18 years. Prior to forming the firm, Mr. Reyes-Retana practiced law as partner in the dispute resolution practice group of Baker and McKenzie in Tijuana. Mr. Reyes-Retana focuses his practice in civil, commercial, administrative, and constitutional litigation and international and domestic arbitration. He has litigation experience before the local and federal courts in Mexico and arbitral tribunal under ICC, ICDR, CAMCA, and Canaco DF rules. Representative legal matters. Representing a German construction company in ICC arbitration regarding the interpretation of a joint venture agreement for the construction of a commercial building in Mexico City. He represented a U.S. group of investors in litigation before the state and federal courts in Baja California Sur concerning the enforcement of a purchase and sales agreement regarding El Hotel in Los Cabos. Representing the U.S. client in litigation before state and federal courts, including the Mexican Supreme Court of Justice, to defend the validity of an arbitrary award rendered abroad and challenged in Mexico. Representing the U.S. client in litigation before state and federal courts in order to release lien on Mexican assets resulting from a simulated contentious procedure, a simulated contentious procedure. Representing a state-owned company in arbitration proceedings under ICC rules regarding the interpretation of a memorandum of understanding frame a major infrastructure project. Representing international banking institution in arbitration under Canaco DF rules to enforce rules to enforce terms of a purchase and sales agreement. Representing a pharmaceutical international in ICC arbitration against a Mexican distributor to enforce terms of a distribution agreement. Advising clients in the negotiation, drafting, and execution of diverse civil and commercial agreements. Professional associations and memberships. He is part of the Asociación Nacional de Abogados de Empresas, which is the National Association for Enterprises Lawyers. And he was educated at the University Iberoamericana del Noroeste. He has different diplomas, one from ITAM in 1996 in foreign trade. He has a diploma in international commercial arbitration from the Liberal School of Law and the International Chamber of Commerce in 1995, International Training Scenarios in Asia Pacific Center for the Resolution of International Business Disputes in Vancouver, Canada, 1993. A arbitrate with sovereigns to Institute for Transnational Arbitration in Dallas 2001, innovative solutions for uncommon items, for uncommon times, overcoming challenges to effective international arbitration. Baker and McKenzie, New York 2003, International Arbitration, ITA Canaco, Canaco ITA Mexico, DF 2005, and Diploma in Oral Litigation from the Tijuana University Center. So you can see that he has a very international experience and wide studies. He is bilingual, Spanish-English, so he is one Ignacio Reyes Retana, our lawyer.
Yes? Would you like to use the microphone?
Yes, please.
Michael Bennett, I'm representing an owner here, La Ventana Del Mar, lot 15. Question for Mr. Reyes-Rutan. I understand you represent Mr. Pat Butler, is that correct?
Not personally, I represent the HOA, and in some particular cases, I have represented some of the companies owned by Mr. Butler. I have not represented him personally.
Okay, in certain litigations that are pending, and are you stating that you are not, you have not, and currently do not represent Mr. Butler?
Yes, that is correct.
That's correct.
And there is no ongoing or pending litigation yet.
Okay, so you're here just to represent La Ventana Del Mar
Yes,
HOA.
that is correct.
Thank you.
Okay, so we will wait for the second call. Present at this time are 24, and there are 15 process. A total 39. The percentage is 7%. We have 2 owners more and a proxy, so the total is 22 persons with 10.15%. There's not yet, we don't have yet a quorum, so we will wait for the third call. Thank you. On behalf of the HOA, so you have an idea of the work that we have been doing here recently. During this year, we have been presenting the town hall meetings in front of the public and the owners of the La Ventana Del Mar, Las Villas, and India. This is the first one that we projected. The scope of projects were the tennis courts, perimeter street lights, submarine post-water plant, wooden bars with ground reflector lights, La Ventana golf course, and trams to La Ventana Del Mar main road. Please, the next one. We started the refurbishment starting in July 6th, and this is the actual state of the courts. They were very damaged. It was almost impossible to play in them. Right now, this is the way they look right now. Next, please. This is the perimeter street lights. Next. We put all the lights around the La Ventana Del Mar and Las Villas lights. So right now everything is with light. It's a lot more secure, more visibility. Not yet. Submarine post-water plant. We bought this pump. Right now we have the sewer plant with the primary pump, and we have another one in storage in case that this one fails to work. We are ready to just install it. So while we take the other money. Next, please. Next. Right now, have you seen that in all the manholes that we have around the on-paved road, we have all these reflecting wood bars with reflecting deadlights. So at night they're easy to be seen. We have some accidents either with that, but sometimes we don't see them. All right, next, please. We put the LED lights. We ordered 30. They were delivered on time, and we installed them. We have next one, please. This was the town hall meeting of September 28th. The Blue Gate report. As you know, there was not a budget for putting more red dirt in the road, but while we were constructing the retaining walls, we found out that there was a big amount of red dirt that we had to take out of that area, in a special area that we are working right now between 4 big walls. So we took a very high amount of red dirt and we put it in the road. So we spent $2,000 moving the earth from the site to the road, and we saved like $20,000 in red dirt. So that was a very good idea that we have. And the road is in a lot better condition. We still have some more earth to dig out, but it's going to be done maybe at the beginning of January, or by the end of this year. We have to see that. And we will do all the road until the court that goes to the pavilion right here. So we'll end right here. And this was fast and easy to do. You can see it. It was 550 meters with 420 square cubic meters of dirt. La siguiente, por favor. The thick is 6 inches, so it's going to stay for a while. These are the tennis courts like they were. The process when they were painting them, then they were like this in the middle. This is the painting of the lines, almost finished, and here is the final product. We repair all these areas too, so right now they are in prime condition. Siguiente, por favor. After September, October, and this small part of November, we bought a 2008 Ford pickup truck for maintenance in La Ventana del Mar. You can see the car is a very good one. The other one that we take out of service was dying, so right now we have a very good car for one of the supervisors. This is the beach. The supervisors in maintenance. This is the the beach iron fence that we have all around the complex. We were working in the fence area by the beach. We changed even the anchors. And right now we have all the front area of the beach side completely painted and repaired, and it's in good condition. We'll keep going on around the gates, all around the property. Siguiente, por favor. This was a very old, you can see here the link fence. It was very rusted, corroded. In certain points we were detaining it with sticks of wood. Right now we just make it brand new. Here is finished, you can see. It's all the extension from the palms, by the end of Juanitos, more or less after the rocks, all the way down to the end of the beach and going by the side of Pete's Camp. So this was done too during this period of October, and you can see that we have done several things. Next. We have some more plans for next year, but right now this is something that we are showing you that we have been doing, and we want to do a lot more. This is the way that the community and the association, HOA management can work and make things happen for all the residents. We would like to share you with this each town hall meeting so everybody is aware of the progress of the works. This is the homeowner association chart. This is including all this is La Ventana and Las Villas because it's complex. But we have the head of the administrative office is Jesus Olmos, then is myself, Roberto Isla, as the general manager. In operation manager is Ricardo Perez. Administration and finance manager is Eduardo Garcia, Lalo, like everybody knows him. And from here, all the management area is in Lalo's area, and the operation manager is Ricardo. In Lalo's area, we have a new manager in collections. She is here present today, is Tony Estrada, she's right there. She has been working, stand up please. She has been working hard. And we are planning to collect more the next year too. And in the side of the operations manager, we have with us for around 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks, no more than 4 weeks, Julio Basaldua, who is our new security boss. Julio is in the back, in blue light blue. So we are doing all of this. Okay, it's time to make the third call, and I think so right now we have a quorum. We'll start our assembly. I just wait for the numbers, final numbers from the quorum. Okay, they are here.
Excuse me, are you taking questions on what you just covered at this time?
No, sir. I prefer at the end, if you want to write them down so you don't forget them, and I will take them at the end. Thank you. All right. We have one more owner, so it's a total of 43, and the total it's 8%. Sorry, I said 10, 15 days before, but it was the time that it was taken. It's 8% in total. It's 39, 43. 43 people. I mean, sorry, again. 24, 26 owners, 16, again, 27 owners, 16 proxies. That's it.
Question,
Yes.
how many developers on?
125. You're welcome. All right. On this call, a quorum has been reached here. I already gave the numbers and owners represented and proxies. The General Assembly meeting is now called to order. At this time, I will appoint two clerks, Mrs. Stacy Dow and Mr. Jerry McNutt. Did you agree to do it? Thank you.
Give the name again.
Stacy Dow and Jerry McNutt. You're welcome. Okay, the next agenda item is to approve the November 7, 2015 ordinary assembly meeting agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda? It was sent to all of you in the package that was sent to by Concord. Please show your hands. Second? All right. Is there any discussion? Okay, then the vote, please. All in favor? Okay, those not in favor? Okay, the motion carries. The next item to approve is the November 2014 ordinary assembly meeting minutes and recorded in Mexicali and posted in HOA website. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes? Second? Discussion?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, please.
Michael Bennett here again, representing an owner. And I have a question, actually first a comment. The meeting minutes, you say, are registered in Mexicali. How many here have gone to Mexicali to see the minutes registered?
Are you making a comment or question the audience?
This is discussion.
Yes.
So part of the discussion is to see how many of the people that are going to vote here are familiar with what you're saying. So I assume nobody's gone to Mexicali to see any minutes that are registered in the public registry. Now you say that they're on the HOA website. How many people have taken them off the HOA website and looked at them because that's what you're going to vote on? They could be incorrect. Okay, so you got a couple people, but the rest, by and large, maybe they haven't seen them. Yeah, well, the point I'm making is that as an assembly, and you correct me if I'm wrong, Counselor, but in order to make the HOA website an official way to get your minutes, you needed to have voted on it, because it's not an official way to put the minutes out. Like the Concord mailing that you get, it's mailed to you directly. So because of, if we wanted to just put everything on the HOA website, we would save a lot of money on Concord. But you're asked to vote on minutes, may seem like a trivial thing, but you can't rely on, because there's a lot of people that are not here. You represent a small amount of the people, the 700 some people. And they ask me all the time, well, how do I get on the website, etc. So, you know, if we're going to make the HOA website official for minutes, then we should have it on the agenda, and then we vote on it, just like in any democratic society, and then it's a done deal. But right now we're putting the cart before the horse, because they're telling you as on the HOA website. That's one issue. But perhaps the largest issue is that, okay, the minutes, think about this, they've already been put in the public registry, meaning they're already there. You haven't had a chance to say yes or no. So how in the world, and I've talked to Mexican attorneys and the notarios, is that the assembly needs to vote first before you register the minutes in the public registry. We seem to be doing it backwards here. So those are my comments on this. You can vote what you like, but I think we're not really being, you know, true to the owners when we're already registering things. So it's already a done deal. Thank you.
Your commentary is noted and will be included in the minutes. If you want to make it.
Just to clarify, the minutes reflect the resolutions taken by the Assembly at the time the Assembly took place. The purpose of inserting a point in the agenda on the occasion of the new gathering of the Assembly is just to consult you if you are in agreement that those minutes truly reflect what happened in the prior Assembly. But legally speaking, the obligation of the management or the director or the board of governance of any legal entity in Mexico is to make the minutes available to you and make it known to you by way of registering or incorporating those minutes into the corporate books. That has been done, but that is very inefficient when we're talking about larger groups like this one. That's why we went a step ahead, a little bit beyond that, and made the same minutes available to you through the website. There's no legal obligation to do so, it's a matter of convenience. But the purpose of this particular point is just to give you the opportunity to say, you know, we are not in agreement that the minutes truly reflect what transpired and happened on our prior meeting. That's the structure. And we do it at this time because it's the following occasion in which all of you are gathered to deal with the business of the association. That's why. But you have, as owners, the right to request access to the information and to minutes in the books, which is the legal instrument used to record your resolutions. So it is proper to record those. Those were approved in the last meeting. That was certified by the clerks counting your votes, and it was recorded by the person presiding the assembly. But we want to give you the opportunity to make sure that whatever is there it does reflect what really happened in the assembly. That is why we do it this way.
I just want to make a quick comment. The supervisors have gone over the minutes and critiqued and changes have been made before it got filed. Okay, so it's not like this is something underhanded that happened.
Yes. All righty. So, if there are no more comments, let's go for the voting. Please, all in favor? Those not in favor? Okay, the voting is correct. The motion carries. Okay, the next point is I would like to introduce you your current supervisors. It's Mrs. Denise Lavin and Mr. Hans Walshut. They are supervisors of Leventon and Lamar. I want to compliment them on all the hard work that they have been doing. As like Mrs. Hans just stated, they have been reviewing and checking each line of everything that we have been working on. So that's a very true statement. Thank you very much. The next thing I have in the agenda is Supervisory Committee report. Would you please come in?
Okay, good afternoon, or no, it's still morning, just feels like afternoon. Good morning, everybody. Always making a report is really kind of stressful when you have to stand up in front of your peers, and today was even more so. A couple of you have heard I was out of the shower, blow drying my hair, and the electricity went off. So you almost had a wet head here, but thank God it came back on. Our report, thank you. What we're going to talk about today, just to give you the outline, is some basic information about La Ventana del Mar, what our responsibilities as supervisors are, the overall status of La Ventana del Mar, and then the budget, the collections, and the audits. Some basic information. La Ventana del Mar is a non-profit organization. It's composed of 830 La Ventana del Mar lots and 300 Las Villas condominiums. That's when they're all finished and built out. Las Villas is not a separate corporation. It is a community with its own budget, but it's a part of La Ventana del Mar, and they pay to La Ventana del Mar for community services based on their individual interest. This year, the amount that is budgeted for Las Villas is based upon their individual interest in the amount of $132,699. La Ventana del Mar provides the following services to Las Villas, just so you know. The management, accounting services, audits, insurance, and security protection. The entry facility, the boulevard coming down towards the beach, all the roads, and the beach access. In addition, the use of the Palapa pool and activity services at the pool. We also provide the water treatment plant, electricity and water of common areas outside of the villas specifically, and just general maintenance. All right, the number of dues-paying lots in La Ventana del Mar. We have 654 owners that are in the system that owe a dues obligation. Of those, we have 196 owners that are delinquent. So that leaves 458 owners to pay the 2016 dues. So what do your supervisors do? Well, we go to long monthly meetings, but our responsibilities are, and these are outlined in the Articles of Incorporation and the Regulations, Chapter 7, Article 24. We are the oversight of the administrator, so we watch to see that the administrator and all of those people in the organizational chart are doing what they're supposed to be doing. We review the monthly financial reports and operational reports. And our job is to report to the General Assembly, which is what you're hearing right now. We have no management responsibility or oversight committee. Okay, one of the things that the supervisors have really worked on this year is communications. We do our report like we are now at the annual meeting, but we have tried to expand that. What we've done is we've had combined Supervisors Committee online newsletter that gets published, on the website. All of you that are active have an active email address in our system will get an online blast that tells you that the newsletter has been posted on the website. Hard copies, for some of you, because not everybody has email, hard copies are available to be read in the HOA office. And folks, if you have not been on that email list and you aren't getting that newsletter, please give your name, your lot number, and your email address to the ladies over here at the check-in table so they can add you, so you'll be able to get all that information. We also have had town hall meeting presentations, and those are posted on the website. And Roberto gave you a great, plug on that today with one of his town hall meetings. And the supervisors also maintain an active email list. So if you're not on the list, you can see Hans or myself afterwards, or I have a sign-up sheet that if you're not there, on for each side, if you put your name, your lot number, and your email, we'll be happy to add you to our email list so that when things are happening, we send out announcements. So the supervisors, when we meet monthly, we evaluate several monthly reports. The spending versus what we budgeted. How much money do we have in the bank? What's the current status of delinquent accounts? What's the status of past due accounts? And the cash flow projection till the end of the year. That's his favorite report. They're available on the HOA website, and the address is there. We're going to leave that up there for a minute in case you don't have it. Just so you know, the way that we post those, we have a meeting. Say our meeting is in October. We're looking at the end of the month, September information. Our meeting is the last Tuesday of the month. So we look at those, all of those documents are reviewed. If there's changes that need to be made, they're made. After all of that happens, then they're posted on the website. So the information that you're getting on the website is about a month and a half from when, it was first generated. You have to close out the books, you have to find out where you are before you can know where you're going. So that's why it takes a little bit of time. Okay. So what is the overall status of La Ventana Del Mar according to your supervisors? This is based on our review of the financial status, the operation reports, and our evaluation of this administration of La Ventana Del Mar HOA and its facilities, and we found it to be satisfactory. Roberto Islas and his staff have effectively managed our budget. They've identified all possible ways to reduce and control costs without affecting services. Like Roberto talked to you about taking the dirt from one area and using it in another area. I mean, that's the kind of stuff these guys do. And they have open and transparent communication with La Ventana Del Mar supervisors and with all of the supervisors, not just La Ventana Del Mar and Las Vegas. have open meetings to communicate with the rest of the communities through our town hall meetings. This year, we've concentrated on a lot of projects to improve our community. You stole my slide on that one, buddy. The road from the pavilion, or the blue gate, or the construction gate, or now the owner's gate, has been regraded, as he told you. The LED lights, every year we buy more of them and install them so that it's going to save us money overall in our energy costs. The tennis courts, he showed you those gorgeous pictures, thank you very much, guys. And in addition to the pumps, we've got new membranes that are coming for the water treatment plant. And besides buying a truck, we repaired another engine on emergency services vehicles. So, speaking of emergency services, in case of emergency, if you don't have this number, please write it down. This number, you know, most of us changed to a 688 number. This one stayed at 576, and this is the number you dial if something happens. In case of fire, you dial that number, and in case of fire, the ranch water trucks will arrive, and they have cannons to assist in containing the fire. But also, we have backup from San Felipe Police and Fire Department. And I know we just on the mountainside had a fire that our guards up on the mountain saw the flames, saw the smoke, notified our guys in emergency services. They went there, got the owner out of the house, and also San Felipe Fire Department came. They were able to stop the fire so it only caused major damage in the garage and smoke damage in a couple of bedrooms. No harm to anyone, because the owner was at the other end of the house, didn't even know what was happening. So we do watch out for those kind of things. We also have monthly reports from Safety Assured for everybody that are posted on the website. One of the people that we contract, not people, but entities that we contract with is Baja Medical Center. Their operating hours is from 8 to 5 p.m. every day. So if you have an after-hours emergency, you don't go to Baja Medical Center. What you do is you call emergency services. They will then contact Baja Medical Center, and what they will do is the nurse will evaluate what's going on, and they'll be talking with our first responders that are there with you, and they'll determine whether you need to see the doctor or if the first responders or the nurse can handle it. Now, sometimes you have to be evacuated, and if you guys were at the meeting yesterday, you heard Barry Christian's report on what Rotary is doing and working with Baja Medical Center to make sure that the ambulances are fully equipped. So, if you do need to be evacuated, the staff will stabilize you and they'll prepare you for the evacuation. This is now available through Cruz Roja, but the trick is you need money. It costs $400. But the good news is we have at Emergency Services, we keep that amount of money there to loan a homeowner in case they don't have that kind of money just hanging around at their house. You know, you never know when emergency is going to happen, and you just spent all your money, you went to the pavilion, had a huge dinner, and it's all gone. So we have money there for you. In addition, at Baja Medical Center, we have diagnostic equipment, x-ray and ultrasound equipment. They also have portable defibrillators, and we have them at the Emergency Services Office for First Responders. And thanks to Hans Wildschut and his committee, well, he doesn't run the committee, but he's a member of the committee at Baja Medical Center. We have monthly status reports posted on the website of Baja Medical Center. Now, all of us have these services available to us per lot, and we have physician's office visits, 3 visits per year with a $10 copay. Guys, where can you get anything with a $10 copay? We have free monthly office visits for blood pressure check and prescription refills. We also have free semi-annual office visits for chest x-rays and cholesterol screening, and free annual visits for a CBC complete blood count test, urinalysis, and electrocardiogram. So all of those are included to owners here at La Ventana Del Mar. So let's find out about our budget. Roberto is going to explain it more in detail to you, so I'm just giving you the big picture, and then he'll go over things item by item. Along with management, the supervisors have reviewed each budget item, line item by line item. So we go through and, you know, Lalo and Roberto and the guys can tell you, we ask questions, how come it's that much? Are you sure you have enough money there? Well, no, that one's a little too high. You know, we don't need to spend that much. So we do review everything. We review the capital expenditures needs for this next year, as well as what we spent this last year. This year, we have provided our employees a 4% salary increase. It began, I think, what, November? October?
This year is 2%, starting January is 4%.
2% now, and then January 4%. Just so you know, there's been a real large number of inflation in Mexico, cost of living and all that. Our employees have not had a raise in at least 5 years. So, you know, 4% is a nice raise for them. Not much, but it helps. In order to maintain services and our physical assets at the current level that we have, the assessment for La Ventana Del Mar for the budget will increase by 3%. So what is our actual budget? First of all, we're projecting from dues that we will take in $765,843. From Las Vegas contributions, $132,699. Forecasted collection of delinquencies, $95,000, and I'll tell you more about that. Technical Review Committee, that's the TRC. The committee, so many of you love to hate, but we're really pretty nice people, $5,000. And resort fees, I'll tell you more about that, is $35,000. For a total budget of $1,033,542. One of the areas that we have really focused on this year, and thank you, Connie, hugs and kisses over there, darling, to you and your crew, is delinquent dues collections. This has been a real priority for our HOA as well as all the HOAs. We've had multiple collection attempts to collect past dues. On-site collection, that's Connie that was introduced, expanded this year and with a manager on site to collect dues that are over 120 days past due. We also continue our collections in Mexicali that also collect 120 days past due. Concord, our collection company and the company that sends you all this paperwork, collects the dues that are delinquent up to 120 days. This year, we budgeted to collect $40,921. So far, and I say so far, but that's of August 31st of this year, we've collected $65,080.88. So we're doing really good, Connie. We estimate that we can collect $95,000 next year. Audits. A part of our fiscal responsibility is to look at audits. The audit for 2014 is pending final review between our accountants department and the auditors. Once it's completed, it will be published in Spanish because it comes to us first in Spanish. Then it will be translated, which takes a little bit of time, and then it will also be published, and those will all be put on the website. All of the other final audits up through 2013 are currently on the HOA website. Okay, one of the other areas that we are going to be getting collections from is the resort fee. It was instituted last November. It was prompted by owner complaints and requested by the Property Management Committee. You know, what are those guys doing? They rent here, they don't pay for all these services, and they're destroying everything, so blah, blah, blah. So we have a resort fee. It's designed to cover the additional cost burdens of renters that are using our facilities. And it's very common all over Mexico, Palm Springs, when I was there last year, they had it, Las Vegas, and other resort areas. And it's typically paid by the renter. The owner doesn't pay that fee, the renter pays it. We have a guest relations person who collects the fees from a rental manifesto that the property management companies give them. So we get the fees. And that's one of the reports that we as supervisors get each month and look at. Okay, one of the areas that people were concerned about in La Botana was the use of the Palapa pool. And over the summer months, we've seen a real increase of the use of the Palapa pool. And where is Cesar? Because he started having, you know, all the good food and music down there too, so lots of people were down there. Well, the resort fee monies have been used to provide security at the pool and for our community in general. So yes, there were all the people at the restaurant, but if they weren't one of our members or they didn't have a band that they paid the resort fee, they didn't go into the pool. So that's how your resort fees are being used. Okay, I am open for questions, but things about the budget detail, Roberto's your man.
Thank you for a very good presentation. And to answer. Okay, then next. Oh, sorry, yes.
Denise, thank you for your report. It was very useful. I would like to know how we can contact you as a supervisor if we do have questions or need to provide some input as an owner.
I'm going to post up here the first slide that has my name and Hans's name and our email addresses.
Perfect, thank you.
Also, if you go online, you can go to Ask a Supervisor, and if you're from this area, they get sent to Hans and myself.
Great.
But the address is up there. It's basically my last name, Lavin Denise, at yahoo.com, and Hans, it's hglorons at gmail.com. So we'll leave this up here for just a minute, so if any of you need to copy that down. Also, if you sign up on that email list, you'll get emails from both of us. Thank you.
I do have another question regarding delinquencies, and I'm curious as to whether there's been any analysis of the delinquencies relative to owners of lots here in La Ventana del Mar. Are they homeowners? Are they owners of homes that are in the rental pool? Is there some way to segregate or categorize the delinquencies to sort out whether people should be restricted on their access to facilities because they are delinquent?
If a homeowner is delinquent, they do not get their passes. They cannot be denied access to their home, but they do not get passes, and that does not allow them to go to the pools or any of the facilities. So that is already there. But no, I don't think we have looked at delinquencies in terms of, are they homeowners? Hans, what do we have, 65 homes here?
Yeah, around 62, 65.
Yeah, somewhere in the low 60s. So most of them, I believe, are paying their dues, but I can't say for sure. But that would be something for us to look at. So we'll make a note to find out whether they're homeowners or non-owners.
Okay, one last question. In terms of security in this area, I know we have security guards who drive around and keep an eye on things. Have there been any reporting or increased incidents of vandalism or thefts in this part of the ranch in the past year?
We had some instances with some of the copper wiring being stolen, but now with the lights along the perimeters, that seems to have subsided. And that, the safe report talks about that, and I know that Ricardo Perez is going to be also submitting monthly report for us, so we know, and it'll be posted.
Okay. The reason I'm asking is we recently finished a house here, just within the last year, and had something stolen from the outside of our house, and I know it's minor and it may be considered inconsequential in terms of cost, but it is a little disconcerting when we're not here full-time. And just curious as to whether this is a growing problem or there's some just rare instance.
I've not heard of that before, because before we moved down here full-time, we were here half the year and did not have anything taken. But if you let us know where you are, there's several of us that are here year-round, and we'd be happy to take a drive-by and just kind of check on things. Plus, is your name in the safe registry where they drive around and check at least every 6 weeks?
I'll ask my better half.
Okay. If not, see me afterwards and I'll let you know how to do that, because they do drive around and check also.
I think I have a quickie, but because last year when we came down, we had not received any notices of anything due, and then I started this 6-week diatribe trying to straighten out. The year before when we bought here, they batched them or something for tax purposes. So I found out after I got back to Prescott that there was this Concord, I guess, that sends you dues notices. I still, this year, have yet to receive a dues notice. I've been here for 10 days now. And where do they come from? When do they come? How is this supposed to happen? Because it's very frustrating.
Okay, they don't come out yet. You're a little
But
early.
how did you say that some people had already paid their 2016?
No, not that the dues haven't even been sent out.
Thank you very much, because you did say 2016, but I only caught it because I hadn't paid it, and I said, well, how am I supposed to know this? Precipitating
We should have
this.
paid it, I'd be scared too. No, they don't come out usually until December. They're mailed by Concord to the address that they have in the system. So it would be wise for you to go and check with the ladies over the table to see what address they actually have.
And they do not forward it, because my address is on forward. It did not forward last year. I found out at Christmas when I got back and discovered it.
I know, we have an expired driver's license that had the same issue.
These quick questions regarding the delinquent owners. You mentioned that there are 196. Now that's fewer than last year, I think. Is that correct? Fewer than delinquent owners than last
You
year?
know, I didn't bring my last year's report, but I think it is, I think we're down in delinquencies, but we have had some people, because part of what we're also doing is if people haven't been here for a long time and they, aren't paying their dues, we ask them to give their property back to the developer. That takes them out of our dues paying, but then when the lot is resold, then we collect the back dues.
That process is still active.
Yes, it is.
Okay. And the other question or thought that I had was in regards to the resort fee. There is a $35,000 projected revenue to the HOA for that. I understand that part of that will be used for security, but there are any other options to use that income somewhere else in the HOA or maybe next year?
Currently, the reason that prompted it and the reason why the Property Management Committee pushed for it was for security, in particular at the pools, at the beach, and at the pools, not just at La Palapa, but at Las Villas pools. And so we needed the additional security. If there's more money than what is needed for security, then of course we're going to look at spending it somewhere else.
Michael Benedict, will your slides be on the website soon?
They will get posted, yes.
Okay, thank you. So you had said to recap, because you went through them pretty quick, 458 to pay the 2016 dues
That's correct, Michael.
out of 830 total lots.
But there are only, what was the number, 525 that are eligible to vote. Not all of the lots are sold or registered.
Okay, you said so 525 were were paid up?
Not paid up. They are ones that are registered and have a dues obligation.
Okay. So then, the question I had, I guess,
They were paid up, weren't they? Yeah, the 5.
because I got the number of 654.
You're right on that. That's absolutely correct. The 525, how did that work?
Yeah, the 525 is the people who has the right to vote and being the has the ability to vote.
Okay, 5, because I didn't see it on your slides.
I don't control the voting, so I didn't get into that one.
Okay, so 525 had the right to vote.
Correct.
That's included the developed lots. So that's just a total figure.
I believe so, yes.
Okay, so does it seem like the amount, previous guy asked the question, so you said 458 to pay 2016 dues.
Correct.
Is that explained then, the 3% increase? Is the 3% increase come from just because there's more delinquent people? Why is there a 3% increase this year?
Well, we've increased salaries for our personnel. We've also identified needs that we have for capital expenditures. So we decided that to make the budget so we can operate fully as we have been, and to maybe make some improvements, purchase some more equipment, another truck, a water truck, those kind of things we needed to increase the income.
Okay, so on the capital expenditure, I didn't see a breakout of that. Is that in the detail?
It's on the website on the detail.
That's in the detail section, okay. So the issue that I have is that in terms of these, you said that there's 60 to 65, is that what you said, Hans? Homes that are built and the rest have lots.
62, there's a couple under construction, so it's around 65 lots.
Okay, because, you know, I represent this owner that's very upset. He doesn't want to come down, and he told me to say to you that, you know, as far as he's concerned, because of things that he doesn't like what's happening, he's paid every single year, he's paid his taxes, he's paid everything, but when he asks certain questions and seeks to get some true transparency, he doesn't find it. So I'm just a messenger, you know, don't beat me up, I'm just relaying. But for 2016, he's not going to pay his dues.
That's his choice, and he'll be getting phone calls.
Yeah, that's fine. Now, related to people that are delinquent, what is the process in Mexico? I assume Reyes Rotano will answer this. When you get to that more than 2 years, what happens to lots, or what will happen to lots that the people have? They're either in a trust, a master trust, or they have their own individual fideicomiso. So if they refuse to pay because they don't like what's going on, what will happen to them specifically by Mexican law?
Okay, so by Mexican law, because in practice we have some other things, but I'll let the attorney tell you the law part.
Right.
Well, if they don't pay and the HOA makes a decision to go take them to court, and they can we can get a judgment, ordering to pay. If they refuse to pay, we can foreclose on whatever assets we can identify, whether in Mexico or in the States, to get that judgment paid.
Okay, well, to my knowledge, you know, even on the mountainside, there was 142 lots in 2010 that were voted to go to full foreclosure. None of those, to my knowledge, went through foreclosure for whatever reason. I don't know of any lot here that's gone through a foreclosure process legally. And tying this in, if you hit up owners such as the one I'm representing for not paying their dues, their annual fees, he asked the question, as he reads his regulation, that the developer himself hasn't paid the dues. Where is the count on that? Now, I know you're going to say Baker, McKenzie, Article 70, and all that, but if you guys read really closely the rules, our rules that we're supposed to go by, it's very specific in there that the developer's an owner, he needs to pay his fees, and so where is the counting of those fees? I can see where I'm at on the list over there, see? But how do I know that he hasn't paid his share of the dues? That's the question.
Well, that is an issue that has been debated in the past, that we have been over again and again and again, and I'm not going to entertain in this discussion again. For those laws that pays are due for and are delinquent, if the administration of the HOA makes a decision that is cost effective to take them to court, we will take them to court. If they decide that the most effective way is to have phone court, sending notices, calling people, denying services, denying certain benefits of participating in the HOA, that is a decision by the HOA. But I'm not going to get again into the debate about whether the developer is required or not to pay dues. That has been discussed in the past, and I know you have a different position, and we have stated in the past you are free to pursue whatever action you deem appropriate to verify whether your position is correct or the HOA and the developer's position is the correct.
Okay, and last, I'll end it here so we can get on, but the regulations that we're told to follow, if you read them closely, you'll see in the very regulations, it's really clear, and the English version prevails. So when Baker McKenzie does its thing, they're having the Spanish version. We went into this some years ago. But it says in plain English, read it. The articles of 69 and 39 are very clear who the owner is, and the developer is an owner, and all owners must pay their fees. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm a part-time resident here, and these are easy questions to answer. Hopefully, our association addresses this. I know that eventually the common area, the condos are going to be renovated and
Completed.
and built. Is there any money for the pool area and the whole dressing area, the restaurant being remodeled? It needs a major remodel. The tennis courts look great, but is there a budget in the future to remodel the pool area, the dressing rooms, and the restaurant?
The pool area we are responsible for maintaining. At this point, we do not have money in the budget
It doesn't come on.
to make any major changes. The restaurant is not the HOA's responsibility. That belongs to the developer's company. And so any improvements in the restaurant, and I believe they just put a stage in or something. I haven't had a chance to go down and look. But that's the developer's company's responsibility.
Okay, all right, thank you.
You're welcome.
A question about parking trailers and boats in the facilities. Is
Yeah.
that restricted or?
They're not supposed to be there, and we're working on that.
Okay, all right, I didn't, all right. I thought maybe.
That's one of the things your TRC committee does.
Okay, great job. In the Baja Medical Center, I know that our association do support that. And I was a little confused yesterday when someone said they went over there, they didn't have any Band-Aids or anything like that.
No, that wasn't
Is
a
that
problem.
separated from, is that separated? Is that separated from what he was talking about?
No, he was talking
Red
about
Cross.
going to Cruz Rojas' office. And that's downtown. Baja Medical
Okay,
Center is
no.
equipped. And the money that Rotary was asking to help donate was to provide for the equipment inside the ambulances. But they're also, I think Mary addressed yesterday that they were hoping to maybe start doing some things like starting with air conditioning, but then get some other equipment there as well. But mainly it's all in, we wanted the ambulances first.
Very good. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay. There seems that there are no more questions, so the next point in the agenda is the nomination and election of one supervisory committee member for 2 years. We will now have that nomination. Those accepting nomination and willing to run for election must be deemed eligible by granting all HOA dues and assessment. We will take all the nominations at the microphone, please. If you have any nomination to do, please come to the microphone.
I will nominate Denise Levengrave.
Do we have another nomination? No more nominations, then I would like Denise to come to the microphone and share a few more words about herself and her background, so everybody now here knows a little bit more about Denise.
Okay, thank you. As most of you, I look around the room, you're in my kind of generation. I grew up during the time of President John F. Kennedy. One of his quotes has been with me my whole life, and it is, "Of whom much is given, much is expected." I've been blessed throughout my life and have always tried to give back in equal measure. I believe if one lives in a community, it's an expectation to contribute. Now, everybody has different ways of contributing, but I think it's important for us to contribute to the well-being of the community and our neighbors. For that reason, I've chosen to be a supervisor, and I would like you to support me again. Just some background, so you better know me. I'm a retired educator. For over 40 years, I was in the field. I began teaching preschool. I was a high school teacher, but I have taught elementary, middle school, college courses, postgraduate courses, and teacher preparation courses. So if you get my email and you see the doctor, it's a doctor in education. Don't come to me for anything that deals with blood. The last 23 years of my career, I was in administration. And I was an administrator primarily in a middle school. Back when we were growing up, they called them junior highs. And I did that for a long time. My last 3 years, I was principal of a K through 8 school. They closed down my middle school, so I had to get everybody repositioned, all the furniture moved. And I was asked to be on the design committee for the brand new school and on the construction committee. So I had my own hard hat and worked with building the school from the ground up. And part of that responsibility was furnishing the whole school, all of the equipment, the playground equipment. So I managed a huge budget with that. Since 1977, I have been on homeowners boards in every community in which I've lived that has a homeowners board. Currently, I've been a La Ventana supervisor for the past 4 years, and we own a condo in Carlsbad that we rent out mostly, and I am the newsletter editor for there. Even though I don't live there, I still want to know what's going on. And I also was on the board for 2 years by Skype, which was a challenge. Prior to moving here, we lived in Stockton, California, in a community called Spanos Park. You might know of Alex Spanos, he's the Chargers owner. Anyhow, we lived there 10 years, and of 9 of those 10 years, I was the board president for the HOA. I was the president of the Landing HOA, where we lived for another 16 years, and at the Landing Lakefront Homeowners Association. We lived in Embarcadero West condominiums, and I was also there, president and secretary. And prior to that, before I met my lovely husband, I lived in Cumberland Place condominiums, and I was again president there. So I had a lot of experience in HOAs, and somehow I always got to be the president. I don't know why. Here at El Dorado Ranch, I was the tennis committee chairperson for 3 years. I was a tennis tournament coordinator for 2 years. I've been on the golf committee for 4 years. I've been on the TRC committee, technical review committee, for 4 years, and the last 4 years as supervisor. So I hope you see that my commitment is to every community in which I've lived, and my commitment is to this community as well. So I hope that you support me in my opportunity to be your supervisor again. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I here close the nomination. Seeing that we have the nomination of the NIS only, I think it's appropriate to make the election vote by raise of hands. If you agree, do I have a motion to make it by raise of hands? Second? Okay, please, all in favor? All right, the motion, all those not in favor? The motion carried. Welcome back to being a supervisor in media in Levittown, Del Mar. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for all of you. Okay. Right now, what we are going to do is present the budget. As Denise said, she made a description of the first page of all the budget. There are different questions that maybe you are interested in doing, so I'll try to answer all of them the best I could. And if I don't have all the answers, Lalo is here, who is the financial officer of the HOA, so he has all the information that we will need to. Okay, Ricardo is here.
Yeah, right now I didn't think they were going to